Hello, this is wmpyr. Yeah, just been mega busy, and there's no trace of things slowing down at the moment. But anyway, just wanted to do a quick video for you guys here to talk about Bruce Lee. Very popular subject, has always been this whole time. But in recent times, I've noticed kind of a trend where people seems to have been talking negatively about Bruce Lee. That's something new to me. In the past, people always seem to talk about Bruce Lee in very high regards. And when you're talking about like my generation and older, a lot of people seem to have been influenced, inspired by Bruce Lee. I am one of them, without a doubt. Um, but this negative trend where they're saying bad stuff about the guy, I'm wondering. I'm actually thinking maybe it's because it's not so much that the people are saying negative stuff because they got a problem with Bruce Lee. I'm thinking it's more so that they have a problem with Bruce Lee fans. And when you say Bruce Lee fan, just like any kind of fan, there's good fans, there's bad fans, and there's in between. And I think that, some people are getting annoyed with the bad Bruce Lee fans. So, what is a bad Bruce Lee fan? A bad Bruce Lee fan to me, just like any fan of anything, is one of those people that, they're just super close minded, and talking to them it's just no fun. So, yeah, Bruce Lee would, if he lived today, he would wipe the floor with everyone in the UFC, and he would be unbeatable. Bruce Lee's the best martial artist ever. This kind of statement. And talking to someone like that is no fun. And a lot of times these people have no idea what they're talking about. Um, they're just making really big claims. And yeah, people like that, super annoying, super big mouth. It's they're making the rest of the Bruce Lee fans look bad. So I think in retaliation to that, people are starting to say, no, it's not true. The guy's never been in um, a professional fight, all kinds of stuff like that. So it's really not against Bruce Lee, but I'm thinking it's more against those kinds of statements, which are coming from the worst kind of fans. That's my guess. Because at the end of the day, Bruce Lee made these movies. He's there to inspire. He's there. He has books. You could study that. I mean, there you go. There's nothing really. You don't have to go negative with that. You could just study his stuff. That's kind of the way that I see it. And if you don't like what he's saying, you can just ignore it, and the other stuff that might click for you. And if it doesn't, go find another teacher. Go find a different source to study from. That's it. The guy was a legit martial artist. He had a lot of good material, and either it works for you or it doesn't. That's kind of the way that I see it. But now, I'll tell you this. I was super influenced by him. When I first started in martial arts and I had seen his movies and all that, and I kept watching his movies to stay motivated, Bruce Lee was like a god to me. And I didn't even really realize it, but I was one of those terrible fans where if you ask me, Bruce Lee versus Mike Tyson, Bruce Lee, of course. And, the answer to that is we'll never know, okay? Unless science develops something spectacular. Right now, we're not going to know. It's just speculation, and honestly, the question's kind of dumb. Because it's just fantasy stuff. You never know. if we have time to be asking dumb questions like that, we should actually be training. That's the way that I see it. But um, so I was one of those people that just put Bruce Lee on a pedestal, and he was unbeatable. He's the best ever, the fastest, the most agile, oh, superhuman, all that kind of stuff. And as I kept training, and as I kept studying his stuff, I studied other styles too, but I definitely did study some of his material too. But as I learned more about him and martial arts, period, he started to become more and more human to me. So he came down the pedestal. And I discovered that the more that he became human to me, the more I liked him. Because I could relate more to the guy. He wasn't like this perfect human, the superstar. And he even says it in a famous interview where he says, I don't want to be seen as a superstar. I want to be seen as a human being. So it took me a while to understand that. And once I did see him as a human being, I really enjoyed that. I liked him more. And so I encourage that to a lot of people. Stop putting him on a pedestal. You don't have to badmouth the guy, but know that he's human. And so there's good things and bad things and everything in between about the guy. You know, the good things you mimic or you get inspired by. The bad things, make sure you don't do them. Don't copy the bad things that he's done. Period. Right? And we could say that about just about any human being as well. Now I know there are some martial artists out there that are questionable in many ways, as they shouldn't be teachers. They're bad people. And maybe they're really famous and they say a lot of good things. Then I would say, look at the good things and listen to that. You can get inspired by it. But the bad things, obviously, about this person, you should stay away from. Don't do that stuff. Now, there are so many martial artists in the world that you don't have to pick this guy as a teacher. So if negative things are found about this guy or girl and now becomes real famous, then I would start to distance myself. So there are some famous, world famous martial arts instructors that I would not go train with. Even if they have tremendous skill. It doesn't matter. Even if their accomplishments are great, I would start to move away from them. Because, once again, there are so many other fantastic martial artists out there that you don't have to compromise with this person. Okay, so that is just my 2 cents. That's it for now. Thank you for viewing, and take care, folks.